I guess it's your first time back in a while.
Yeah. It's crazy.
10 years without moving.
Yeah.
It's gonna be happening next week. You know, when they actually like tear it down.
Are you okay with them tearing down the house?
Yeah.
I mean, it's falling apart anyway.
Okay, here we go. Come on. Hi everyone, Simon Foster here, Festival Director of the Sydney Science Fiction Film Festival. I am very excited to have on the line with us Paul Owens, the director of, just quietly, my favourite film of the festival. It's called Landlocked, screening August 28 in Sydney and Melbourne and September 3 nationally. Mate, thank you so much for joining us, Paul. I'm so excited to be talking to you. This is a fantastic movie.
Thanks. Cool.
Mate, I want to read to you what I wrote in our little sort of panel of.
I saw that. Jeez.
Where?
So nice.
Really? Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
The Donnie Darko thing, you mean?
Yeah. Let me read it out. One of the
right.
most interesting US indies I've seen in ages. Amazing use of physical media, old and new. Be patient, gets very Lynchian, dark underbelly of suburbia a la Blue Velvet, with influences from Donnie Darko too. Found the last half hour devastating. So that's what I wrote to my fellow panelists, as
Nice.
part of the submissions. I'm sort of reluctant to ask influences on a film like this because it's such an original vision, but what are the origins?
Goodness. I mean, I've been saying it's like an art house Back to the Future 2, just because it's really fast. People can get that.
Yep.
But honestly, I'm not sure because I didn't feel like I watched a bunch of stuff to like prep for it or anything like that, or like was looking at Lynch's movies or really anything to do with that. I don't know. It just was a little more instinctual than that. I was like, I wasn't sure if it was actually going to work even. So it was nice that it did for you anyway. Yeah, it's good.
Came together beautifully. One of the hidden joys for me in watching Landlocked is all the beautiful tape era technology, the VCRs and the monitors that Mason wires up. As someone who grew up in the grip of the home video era, it was just heaven to see these on screen. Given it's a film about memories, what does that phase in tech growth mean to you? I mean, I think you're considerably younger than me, but it's obviously got a pull.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the 80s that, so much of my nostalgia comes from that decade. And I just love the way everyone looked and just how objects were. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's not something I can really put my finger on, really, but it was just something I was gravitated towards. And how old are you anyway?
I'm 55, so you're considerably younger than me.
Okay. Oh, you don't look it at all.
Caught you by surprise there, didn't I? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you say that because in reading some coverage of Landlocked, some say it's kind of your takedown of nostalgia, that it's a commentary on the potential that only bad things can come from living in the past. How do you react to that interpretation?
Probably true. I mean, it comes from a period where I was similar to the character in the movie. I was living back at home and after a long period away, and I was back at my dad's house looking through all these old tapes, and really was in the grip of nostalgia during that time, you know, for like 2 years.
Wow.
And I started writing the movie kind of around that. And so it is something that I felt at that moment and was like, you know, I think is true. But I mean, I wouldn't say that's what people have to take from it. I don't know, and, you know,
Sure.
but I see that side of it. Yeah.
What about bringing the family along for this ride? Did you have to sit them down and pitch them the concept, like some weird variation on a studio meeting?
You know, they never really asked that many questions. It was weird. They've been in my movies since forever, though. You know what I mean? Like going back years and years, they would always be like, "Dad, I got a student film. Can you like come and be the thing and whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, whatever." Like they just do it. I don't know. I can't. It's just been a thing that's been going on for the last 20 years now, and they just, you know, I was just back east and we were talking about the next one and just like, ah, I'll need you for this part. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, yeah, sure. And it's like, how about this? And it's like, yeah, I can do that. So they just go along with it. I don't know why. And like, I barely explained, I explained what's happening in the scene, but I never really gave them the full idea, really. And so when they actually eventually saw the movie, they were like, what the hell? That's what this is? So that was fun. That was the fun part.
Has Mason got a future in front of the camera, you think? He's a compelling presence on screen.
Oh, nice. He'll be happy to hear that. He does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. He's doing like sets now and props on movies and stuff, and he's really great at that. I don't know how much he loves acting. I mean, I asked him this question this weekend and was like, "Would you want to act?" And he was like, "I don't know, maybe." So I don't know. I think it worked here and playing himself, and it worked in that context. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Let's backtrack a bit. Discovering or seeing in the box of VHS tapes and all that home video footage the potential for a film like this. What was the moment where you thought, okay, I can cut this together, do that to put this together? Was it a sort of a lightning rod moment?
I think it just was so obvious. Like it's really just being there, finding the tapes, you know, and at that point, like my parents had divorced, like the house was in kind of disrepair, and like so it really felt like this was, you know, ancient history. And you know, you watch a tape where it's like them swimming in the pool, you know, on a nice summer day, and then you walk outside and the pool's like falling over, and it's just, you know, it was just like just really obvious. And at the time I was like, someone must have done this before. Like this is such an obvious idea that I couldn't believe that no one had done it before. And even now I'm like, God, there's got to be a movie out there that did this. But I guess not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that was kind of, I wish I had a better story, but really it just was like, oh, I could just do this. Okay. And it was just really obvious.
In true Hollywood tradition, someone will come out of the woodwork now with some sort of lawsuit against you saying, oh, I thought of this back in the 70s.
Oh, God. Who knows?
Jeez. The footage that you use looks to be largely happy memories. Did you or the family ever balk at putting them in this fantasy, sometimes negative or sometimes scary context?
No.
No.
No, it always just I don't know, I liked changing the context around for these happy memories, like you know, just simple stuff like someone looking at the camera, you know, in a normal home video that happens all the time. You're just like, someone's like, oh, hey, you're filming, hey. And just changing that context around so that they shouldn't know that they're being filmed, because, you know, the character's not actually there. So I got a kick out of just like changing the context around and making it spooky or scary, whatever. So
how much would you put down your documentary factual filmmaking background as an influence upon the final look of the film? What sort of training ground is that for making narrative features?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I gotta say half. Yeah, really. In school, back in college, I was making kind of like more somber, like very tripod movies and just like very still. And then after school, I went into documentary, and it was more just kind of verite. And I feel like this was kind of a marriage of that, and, you know, trying to find like a meeting ground between like the improv nature and making it feel natural, and mixing that with like the horror elements and the stillness. And so it did feel like half and half. I didn't think about it too much really. I just went in and was like, in documentary, you kind of like look at what's happening and you very quickly assess like, here's where I need to put the camera here. You have to move quickly. And I kind of just did that and was like, okay, we'll put it here, do that. And, we only had 2 weeks to shoot the movie, so it had to be
Wow.
really fast. So, yeah. Crazy.
I guess in hindsight, the smartest decision I've made in pulling this festival together is jumping all over Landlocked as soon as I watched it. The buzz on the film amongst the festival bosses down here in Australia has been immediate. I've spoken to a couple of other festival directors who are aware of the film, and as you know, it'll go from us into the Sydney Underground lineup as well, which I think is absolutely as fitting as our festival. So,
Yeah.
What next for you? Is the originality and the uniqueness of this film ultimately going to be a monkey on your back? People will be looking for this sort of groundbreaking stuff moving forward.
I think that's good. I mean, I think, there's a bar that I feel like I've set for myself, and I'm not going to do the next one until I feel like, okay, I think I can maybe do better than I did last time. But, I think as I'm writing the new one now, I'm just kind of taking the stuff that really worked and that I really liked in this one. And because I never really did a feature narrative before. So a lot of ways it was experimenting and trying stuff out, and not everything worked. You didn't see that part of it, but so yeah, it's just taking what worked and trying to do a better version next time. And obviously not using a camera again, but I think having some other visual, I don't want to say gimmick, but kind of some other
Entry point.
thing. Yeah. Can't say anything right now.
Okay, I won't press you on it then.
Okay.
Paul, it's such a joy to talk to you. This is the only film that I haven't watched again as part of the lineup that I've chosen, because I can't wait to see this with an audience on the big screen. I think it's going to be such an immersive, such a tense experience up there on the screen as it all comes together. So I'm really excited. Yeah, I wish you could be here, man. I wish you could be here. It'd be great to have you. We're very excited to have the film in the festival. So, Paul Owens, thank you so much for talking with me, mate.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to be screening the film.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm excited for people to see it. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.